100% on our way to the moon.
Moontrain's on point, we're in the groove, trading like a symphony. With
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader.
We're on the moon train.
Then we watched you guys land on the moon.
This is how you become a day trader.
Okay, so going into Wednesday, this is the Namo setup, which is starting to look like a failed inverted head and shoulders. Obviously, it can stay trapped as far as the Nasdaq and the Namo. This obviously comes down to the MU earnings. Okay, the put to call ratio is pretty high. Okay, and as you know, usually you don't get more of a crash when everybody's in puts. It's more of catching people off guard that we saw yesterday. So we spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days here in the range. We'd even closed the gap and recovered, and then that whole deal with South Korea and being over leveraged in these memory stocks kind of unraveled. And why did that happen? Many reasons, but one would probably be profit taking into these MU earnings. Now, yesterday they hit circuit breakers here. It was down, I think, 10 to 12%, and today you're 3% green. So slight, I wouldn't say recovery, but stabilization. Okay. The difference here, setup-wise, is you open the day lower, and we are on a inside day. So again, last time we had this setup, it failed pretty spectacularly. This would be the Larry Williams setup, where you have a big sell inside day and the third day rips. So for us trading the US market, it's gonna come down to core PCE and GDP and a combo of MU's earnings to let everybody know what happens. So if this comes in cool and this is good, then you probably move higher, especially if MU's earnings are or guide higher. We can't predict the the direction. But as far as SPY, if you keep holding 732, which is today's low, your range is all the way up here, right? And above that you go gap fill. So what we did today or yesterday, depending upon when you're watching this, was we took calls out of the gate. It was a little sketchy here. I think I entered here on the re-entry, and then we went up, and then we were rejected all the way, but it did work out great. Then why did we play that? Because we had this SPY ghost here, and then the plan was for these to either hold here, or here was the last spot where it then finally held on the stow that have bottomed out, and we started rising. But then we put in a head and shoulders here, and it gave the move back. So what we were obviously targeting on YOLOs was this QQQ ghost sitting at 724.80 ish. We're trying those 723s. The positive thing is that technically we did defend lows on QQQ, and SPY managed to close where it opened. So bar minimum tomorrow is you got to defend the lows. If you can defend the lows and stabilize the market, I do think that by Thursday probably this is the catcher in the rye. So tomorrow might be a shit day, and there's been plenty of shit days. The sports calendar that Justin has posted, the overlay, has us having a bottom on the 25th. That's Thursday, and going higher. Now, I do want to say this. That's like the upside scenario here. Downside. Okay, downside. You can go all the way to 700 on QQQ if this shit starts unraveling, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did it. Okay, there's a lot of puts coming in. Market sentiment is kind of shit. You don't know what the Fed's gonna do, and the main thing here is we've never put in a bottom unless we hit here. So the NAMO, I think you get a gross sell, because we've had gross sell days, but as I wrote in the chat yesterday, like, unless you're closing here at some negative 15 or negative 20, if it stays above 10, that means there's a risk you can still waterfall here. So there's definitely a risk for a waterfall. And then you got these other macro issues. You got the dollar really fucking strong right now. Oil is spiking again. I don't know what the latest is here. What's that latest news that just happened? A large attack on the thermal power plant in Balaclava. So Russia and Ukraine turning it up. Okay, and then you have the whole Lebanese situation, so that's not good. All eyes on this, but yeah, this, and then you got the VIX, right? The VIX is elevated. That's why yesterday, for instance, you got to be really fucking careful. I should have been more careful for the last fucking 2 weeks. But anyways, really nice juice, de-juiced, bounced back, and then just dog shit chop and closed, right? And since close, we haven't done anything at all. I'm still trying to play upside here, since it seems like the big sell is over, but as I showed on the NAMA, there's a risk for another leg down. Not a lot of QQQ dark pool buying. There you have a 740, and then we also on hood we have a 737 gap fill ghost. That's new. There's absolutely no flow buying. SPY is a little bit better on both ends. That could just be rotation, and then all eyes on MU. So that's kind of the plan going into this week. And as I've said to a lot of you on all of the one-on-one calls we've had lately, is this is definitely a time to kind of wait and see what the market wants to do. It's always hard when the market changes psychologically to not want to fight it. Market always wins if you want to do that. So this is not a pretty looking chart by any means. You got a 4-hour inside here on SPX, so this can go either way right now. Technically, you do have a lower pierce here as opposed to a higher one. Okay, and we'll keep chugging at it. All right, guys, God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow for IB.